Hey guys, welcome back to The Grind. I'm Richard Epting and we're in my wife's kitchen. So don't tell Joe that we're working in the kitchen today because I have my wood stabilization stuff in her kitchen and she may get a little mad. So look, I kind of went down the rabbit hole on YouTube the other day. I was doing some research on sous vide cooking and then I saw some stuff on vacuum absorption of spices and saw some other videos. Anyway, I'm really bad about going down the rabbit hole and researching stuff. So look, what I found out was that you can take cucumbers and some onions, and I did it the other day, and we kind of do like a super fast pickling in about 8 minutes with a vacuum system. So I did it the other day, it worked out fantastic, so I kind of wanted to show it today. So I'm using my stabilization system that I use on my handle material, okay? Now, look, if you're not stabilizing your own wood, you need to. Turntex products, this is called cactus juice. I know a lot of you makers use this. If you're not using it to stabilize your handles, you need to. Good product, good company. I really like their stuff. Now, so this is the same stuff that I use. Now look, this isn't a nasty pot with a bunch of nasty stuff in it. It's clean. I use a separate plastic pot for my stabilization chemical that I put it inside here. It keeps it a lot cleaner, and you can keep it in your fridge because it needs to be in the fridge so it lasts longer. But look, so what I did is I've got some cucumbers. I've already cut up some cucumbers and some onions. And also really quick, I want to talk really quick. So this is the Santoku style kitchen knife. I really love this style knife. This knife is picked up out of any knife in our collection that we use. Myself and my wife Joanna, this is pretty much the only knife. We just love this knife. The Santoku style, the way it works, it's fantastic, super sharp. Now this is one of my knives that I made, but I tell you, it's just extremely, extremely sharp. I don't know if you can see it and catch this on the video, but what I did is I cut these cucumbers kind of almost like French fries, and I just kind of cut them up long ways. And I decided today that maybe we'd go ahead and take some serranos, and we'll add some serranos in there too, just for heat purposes with the seeds. I don't know if, in that time period it'll do anything, but I figured what the heck, let's try it. Serranos are good and hot. So I'm just cutting them up, seed and all. And you can see once again the action of the Santoku. I really love this knife and how it works. So what I did the other day is I threw everything in a separate container and not directly in this pressure pot. Now what that pressure pot, that is actually just a paint pressure pot that I purchased to use it specifically for stabilization. But now I've got some other cool ideas that I think that we can do with this. I'm going to experiment on steaks and maybe fajitas and putting spices on them, put them under the vacuum and try it out. So what I did is I used some regular vinegar and I covered it, probably a quarter of a cup vinegar. Then I've got some balsamic vinegar and I'm just kind of chunking a lot of balsamic in there, and some salt. This just happens to be sea salt that was in the pantry. And some pepper. Garlic powder. And I bought this the other day. I haven't done it, but this is a little bit of dill weed. So I thought, since we're going to make maybe like some kind of pickling stuff, we put some dill weed in there as well. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit more vinegar to cover it up. Maybe a little bit more balsamic as well. This is good stuff. All right. Now I'm just going to kind of mix it up with my hand. So I'm kind of covering, it's about 3/4 full. I don't know if the camera is able to see it, but I've got about 3/4, got a nice lot of fluid in here. So now I take this, I put it inside of the paint pot. All right. I take the lid. Now the fact that we're putting vacuum on a pressure pot, this is designed to take a lot of pressure, so vacuum is not an issue. It's going to suck the lid down. And just do this when your wife's not home. All right, so I've got a vacuum pump on the ground here. I'm hooking up my hose, and I'm going to turn this vacuum pump on. You're going to see it suck down on the gauge, and let's do this for about 10 minutes. We'll cut away, and we'll do this for 10 minutes. We'll come back and we'll check it out. So let me turn the pump on, and we'll come back in about 10 minutes. All right, guys, we're back. I put the vacuum on this for about 12 minutes or so. I checked it once and decided to go a little bit longer. I put a little bit more cucumbers in there and more onions than the first time. So I think the more, obviously, the more product, the more volume, you're going to have to go longer. But I think, honestly, you can do this in about 15 minutes to 20 minutes, and it will fully absorb all of the spices and the vinegar. So, okay. So what we've got is we've got onions that have absorbed a lot of the spices and the vinegar, the pickles, all the way through. Very good tasting. Probably needs a little bit more salt. Once again, this is kind of an experiment, and the more you play with it, I think the better that we'll get. I am tasting a little bit of the heat from the serranos in there. I think next time I'll put about 3 or 4 serranos and make it really hot. A little bit more salt, but I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it came out really good. So a really kind of a fast way. Thanksgiving's coming up. Kind of like a really good little appetizer or something else to have on the plate. They're really good to eat like that. And you know, once again, going back to the stabilization, I mean, this is obviously, you're not going to go buy all this stuff if you're going to make pickles or something at the house, obviously. But there's a lot of guys that are knife makers, wood turners, pin turners that have this stuff sitting around the house that you can obviously use this for some alternate cooking sources and experiment and do some other fun stuff with it. It's expensive equipment that's sitting around when it's not being used. And those of you that are knife makers or pin guys or wood turners, if you are not stabilizing your wood, you really need to. It's a disservice to yourself and your customers if you're not stabilizing your stuff. So once again, Cactus Juice from Turntex Products, one of the best products. Curtis, super nice guy, great product. I know a lot of people in the industry are using this now. It really makes a big difference on your handle materials. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff here in the future. This is just another video. I'm trying to figure all the YouTube stuff out. I'm trying to get my filming down. We're going to add more cameras. I realize that it's far away and you couldn't see a lot of the stuff that I'm doing. And next time we'll use 2 cameras and we'll be able to zoom up. We're also going to do, we're going to talk later a little bit more about some of the Japanese style knives and why I like the Japanese style cooking knife so much. So for now, we're going to go ahead and stop here. And we're going to get back to the grind, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me some comments. Please follow. Please like. Check out eptingknives.com. Check out my Instagram page, Richard Epting, and give me a like as well. If you got any questions or anything else that you want me to film, let me know, and we'll figure it out and we'll do it. So we're going to go back to the grind. Thanks a lot.